9% voting intention, with Tice writing onwards and upwards into double figures. What's worse is the Daily Telegraph has revealed today that former PM Boris Johnson, perhaps the only man capable of knocking down the red wall once more and of stopping Reform UK, has officially announced he will stand again at the next general election. So with Boris, the man who likely would have beaten Rishi in the leadership race had he not pulled out, stayed in the political ring, how far could he go? And look, two real challenges for Rishi Sunak here: a surging Reform UK and a not going anywhere Boris Johnson. Who's the biggest threat, do you think?
Well, I think the bigger one is probably Boris, because the membership, we now know from polls, the membership did not like the budget. The membership wanted Trussonomics. And if she hadn't so comprehensively bungled the delivery of it, we might have a whole new Conservative resurgence. But we haven't. And all he's doing is more of the same. So he's not inspiring anybody. Now, whatever you may think about Boris, and I think lots of things about Boris, but whatever you may think about Boris, he does inspire people. Now, as for the Reform Party, the brutal truth is, and I have huge respect for Richard Tice, but the brutal truth is that when general elections come along, small parties do not prevail. And we saw that with the mighty SDP. I mean, you had very, very big, significant figures.
And UKIP.
And UKIP. And then, of course, the Brexit Party in 2019. When you have a general election, people's minds are concentrated not on what they want, but on what they don't want. And so if they don't want Corbyn, or they don't want Starmer, or they don't want Miliband, whoever it might be.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Miliband now.
They're going to vote Conservative. They're not going to vote, they're going to vote Conservative in those circumstances, not for any other party. Because, in their reasoning, the Conservatives are the only one who can actually defeat what they do not want. Now, that is the mentality with which people approach elections.
But, of course, at the last election, Anne, it was this deal that Nigel Farage and the Brexit Party, which you were a member of at the time, very reluctantly agreed to, that allowed Boris to secure that landslide. They stood down in the seats where essentially they would have provided a spoiler to stop the Tories winning. Farage and Tice are both being absolutely certain that come the next election, they're going hard, they're running in every seat, there's no deal to be had.
Well, of course, the Conservatives would not do a deal with the Brexit Party last time. And they probably thought, when they saw the size of the majority, that they had done the right thing. But, of course, what they left behind was people who, distrusting them on Brexit, and it turns out to be right that we did not trust them on Brexit, who, distrusting them on Brexit, will take advantage in the future. So I feel very strong. We've had all these comments about, Brexit has had a negative impact on the economy. Dan, it hasn't had a negative, it hasn't had a positive, because nobody's done anything with Brexit.
I know, and instead, they'll